the story of Dragon Ball Z and how it relates to the real world. Everything in the show is actually funny. They don't do it correctly in the show, but they do it in a way that it's the most humorous thing if you're actually like a monk to watch. And when I tell you this, you're going to believe that everyone's going to know that everyone in Port Colborne is pretending to be monks because of me. Alright, so, not everything, but the one thing, the silent thing, right? Yeah. Number 1, hitting your head, Goku, as a kid, hard. Well, when I was 6 months old, I grabbed a curling iron and held it without anyone noticing for a long time in shock. I don't know what the circumstances were because the story's not straight about that. I hear different things from each one of my family members, but whatever. What does that do to an infant? Like in the dream 2 days ago, I had a dream 2 days ago testing how much pain I could take, and I actually scared the dream world. It said, whoa, she's been fucked up. Right? They were testing every pressure point on me, and they could not knock me out or hurt me in the dream, and it was real. I knew it. I woke up, I'm like, laughing, right? Yeah. At any rate, Vegeta, kind of like Stanton getting a shot of hooch when he was 3 years old that he hates Anton LaVey for. Vegeta's punched to the gut from his father, right, when he was 3 years old or something like that. Yeah. We're not going to talk about how there's the second family of Satanism, right? But it's not the same, right? No. The kids just, because of all the bullshit. Anyways. Training your first time as far as a kid. Before going to martial arts training was very good thing. And learning some of the techniques already from the show, blocking a kick like this, I knew that if he was my brother, he'd be able to do it. Right? So I said, well, I'm not going to get into that story. He probably told that story, but how about getting a blue belt after 1 day of martial arts training? Well, Goku does that blue Kamehameha wave the first time he tries. Special powers are really forces in the earth and inside of us protecting us when tested if people are going to kill us. I'm not going to go over like the stoner types of things, but I'm just going to go over one thing when I was a kid that happened. My grandma's house was trashed. Now, it wasn't the raccoon that trashed the house because the raccoon was locked in her bedroom. There was no way it could get in there if her door was shut like it was, right? Yeah. So it's only me and her. I just pick up a knife, 6 years old, and walk around the house searching for whoever the perpetrator is and telling her to stay behind me, right? Well, they decided I win, right? Yeah. Okay, so it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit. Goku shows mercy to his opponents because they still fight and are still standing and, you feel bad. He doesn't have the desire to kill, he has the desire to protect, right? But sometimes to protect yourself and your family, he had to fight, right? Well, I'm kind of like Vegeta in that sense that I had a mistake, right? But if we go further ahead, you'll see that changed. And before it was also not like Vegeta made some mistakes, but it wasn't really his fault, not criminally responsible, whatever. That's what it's about. Yeah. Silence like a monk, sort of like Krillin behavior that changed the whole town to not talk like a Tibet monk from the very start. Knowing your strength and not acting to things normal people would fight about, you just stay calm, and then the staying calm when there's about to get the beats or something, like a woman having sex to get out of being hurt worse, right? Or you know what I mean. no kids at high school wanted to fuck with me. Just because I would get they knew people were trying to kill me. They knew I knew that people were trying to kill me. And I would just stay silent and not even blink an eye about it. Confidence, they wouldn't fuck with me even though they all hated me, right? Yeah, that's what I did. Dragon Ball Z, yeah, how did that relate to, some of the characters? It does, the earthly ones, like in Dragon Ball, right? So Kaioken, if you get crushed to the corner and bust yourself up, now this guy gonna say, she's talking about it again. No, I just have to say this because then you never only merely defend yourself and end up stalemate, because we don't want to go over for shit like that, because they'll say that in Canada you have no right to defend yourself, right? It's not worth finishing. You know that if the dude tries to do it again, he's going to learn his lesson the second time again, right? And that's autonomous instinct, being able to sense moves wherever they come. Like I just did prop sensing 2 seconds ago in the cafe. That was pretty funny. And when one dude come behind me when I'm on the phone to punch me out, I'm not going to say why he wanted to do that, but don't steal, right? I stole. I just knew, in my Charles Manson-ness, I stopped that because, they don't like that behavior after that happened. I didn't even know it was there. It's straight there, right? Autonomous instinct. Idiots from the other ward have an autonomous instinct to hit people, and I don't even know they're going to do it, and have an autonomous block. Scared the shit out of them, right? And then Frieza and Vegeta, like the nurse when he wanted to put me down and start a fight. Now, the charting about that, the doctor and 2 nurses that hadn't been on in 3 months came 6 o'clock before shift change the next morning with no security to get me out of seclusion, and you know that. Why? Yeah, I'm the only person that ever had a good hit on that nurse, because he's a martial artist, right? And he uses, it was like the fight between Vegeta and Frieza. First, it was this, I grabbed his arm when he tried to reach to grab me, and then when he went with his other arm, I grabbed his other arm just like that, how Vegeta and Frieza stand in their first little thing like that, right? And then he tripped me, and Vegeta died, right? I was like Vegeta then. Yeah. So, now we go to transformations of waking states of mind. If it makes you violent, it will make you have violent thoughts, but if you don't act on them, you get transformed again and again and again with this different euphoria, until the sensu beans arrive, right? Why do you think Vegeta said, I hate when I'm forced to take these? Well, P.S., the sensu beans are drugs, right? And you will transform until you do a drug or commit a violent. If you commit a violent act, well, that's worse, and you'll lose everything you've obtained. If it wasn't because the reasons, right? So don't kill anybody for psychotic reasons, and maybe you won't lose your transformation skills, right? Right. So transformation while asleep, you can destroy or protect anything, right? If you know you should protect it, trust yourself and you'll win. Take that bait to get off, because you are needed somewhere else if you can't save something. Because if you lose, you're gone. 2 tip. If you should destroy in your dream, there's a reason for that. It was to protect something. Well, if you, just like when you're exercising, like I said with how you can make your reps go up in the one video, make sure you find your way back to that to make sure you destroyed everything and still protected the other things, right? Because then Goku learns that he's caused so much trouble and he should stay dead. Remember, that's what I mean. And it goes around and loops. You have to do it in the dream 100 times, right? And you do it a little bit differently each time. It's kind of funny, but you know the way around. So the second time, the third time, you get better and better and better. That's lucid. You know what to do, right? You're aware, right? So muscle memory and how your body changes its shape akin to your muscle building and resting process, and also your eating habits, which personal trainers are not legally allowed to explain to people. So that's about all. Peace out.